Greetings, everyone. This is your girl, Sister Kimberly, aka Aries Queen, and I got a good message for you all coming from the 16th of August 2019. Sorry that this is a little late, but had some things come up. But I definitely want to speak to you about this message that came through for me from the goddess Oshun. And this is about powering the hero within. So it's always interesting in the way that spirit usually comes and, introduces itself to me and talks with me. So on Friday, this past Friday, I had a message come through from the Orisha Oshun. And Mama Oshun says, well, Friday is going to be the day, of course, you're going to go to the river. I went to the river in Georgetown, Texas. It's like close to Austin. And I went to the San Gabriel River, and I gave offerings to Oshun. And this is usually where I go to give offerings for her for the most part. It's a beautiful space there. Rivers, little waterfalls and everything like there, the wildlife. So it's a beautiful space. So I went there and to give her these offerings. But prior to doing that, I had to drop my boys off at daycare. And I went and got everything set up for her offerings. Got her some bananas, got oranges, and honey and all that kind of stuff. And when I was at the store, I needed to find a bunch of bananas that were 5 because her number is 5. And I was looking around and I was like, okay, well, let me get these organic bananas. And I picked them up and boom, this sticker, this Lion King sticker was on it. And it had exactly 5 bananas. So I picked this bunch of bananas up. And on the sticker, it has, Mufasa on there and everything. But it has this message that said, boom, powering the hero within. And it has Mufasa kind of standing there with his mane blowing in the breeze. And, of course, it's from the company Dole, and Dole in D-O-L-E. And they're usually, one of the top fruit distributors. But in the O of the Dole is the sun. Okay, so I looked at that and like, gosh, that kind of struck me that these, bunch of bananas that was 5, and it had this message on here. And so I was like, okay, interesting. Let me take that because that's telling me something. So I went to the river and, I was going to my usual spot that I usually go. And before I could get there, there was a family that was already there. But Oshun goes, no, just continue to walk down the walkway and continue to walk down. And as I was walking down by the river, I was like, am I going to go here? And I kept looking at the water. I was like, nah, not here because it looks a little stagnant here. And so she's like, no, continue to walk, continue to walk. So I continue to walk and I find it's nice little nook because they have little picnic areas up in there, and it's nice little nook that's a nook that's in between the trees, and it had a little picnic table there, and there's this elderly couple that was there. They were enjoying the day, and so I knew that my wedding anniversary was coming up on the 23rd, and she says, "You see that over there?" And I looked at it, and I was like, "Yeah, I forgot that was there." She said, "Why don't you, come out here, you and your husband come out here for your wedding anniversary?" And I said, well, that's a good idea because we were trying to figure out what we was going to do anyway, usually dinner and a movie, it's getting a little old and stale. So I said, all right. So I continued to walk down the pathway and looking for a place I can, do, the ritual, sing for her, give her offerings. And I'm like, is there anywhere else? She's like, no, go back down to the original spot. I said, well, there's people there. She says, well, by the time you get there, they'll be gone anyway. So I go down and I go back to the usual spot, and she was right. By the time I got down there, they were gone. And it was a family. It was a mother and her 5 children, and the mother was she was all the way pregnant, y'all. All the way pregnant. And so she had, her 5 children with her. And I just kind of sat down. I did my offerings to Oshun, rang the bell, sang to her, gave her offerings and everything like that. And had my notebook with me and just kind of wrote down what I observed, because I was like, what? I'm here to see something. I'm here to get a message. I saw the little banana sticker that says powering the hero within. And so I kind of stuck it in my notebook and kind of sat still. And I watched as, the family, the mother and her children came back. They were coming back upriver, and the children were playing in the river, and she was kind of like off to the side, really. She wasn't really she was paying attention, but she wasn't hovering over them. And then it struck me about what the message was, because the children that she had was, there were 5 children that she had. Number 5 again, Oshun's number. And I looked at her, and she was all the way pregnant, and she had 5 children. And I'm like, she's representing Yemaya right now, because all the children had on blue and white, and they were swimming in the river like fishes, and Yemaya is the mother of fishes, and she's usually the surrogate mother for Oshun's children, and there were 5 in number that were there. And I was just like, wow, just kind of looking at this and like, okay, Mama, I see what you're doing. You see what you're doing. And I kind of watched them and observed the children playing. And the mother was, she was just far enough from the children. And so, they were just playing, and she was just, off really far away. Honestly, the boys were just swimming and like freaking fish underwater, trying to catch other little small fish in there, and she didn't have a care in the world. And so what I gathered from that is, like, as a society, we're overprotective of our children, and we kind of keep them sheltered from real and even perceived dangers, and so much so that we do this, that we are reluctant to allow them to explore. So at the river, I saw the mother with her children. And, she had them all there. The youngest, I think the oldest one's probably about 10, and the youngest was about 3. And, they were just left, again, to swim, catch fish, explore the river, almost unsupervised, The boys, they were fine. They were doing their own thing. And Mom had found a shaded spot, downriver. And she was in just eye shot where she could kind of see them, but she wasn't over them. And they eventually, made their way back to Mom and everything. But I sat there and I kind of observed it. And I was just like, man, how wonderful is this, and how scary is this? Because I have 2 little ones too. And I would be hovered over and like, don't touch that, don't go there. And she was just kind of sitting there and allowing them to be children and to explore this wonderful natural world, And I thought, she allowed her sons, SUN sons, it kind of goes back to the sticker with the dole symbol and the sons there, to just walk around unafraid in the world around them. It was just amazing. And this freedom allows them to power the hero within, because she was empowering her young cubs to be lions, leaders, kings, rulers. You know what I'm saying? She was just simply the simple act of letting go and allowing them to grow in ways that the physical eye just cannot see, and it was just amazing how she just, just to let go and just let your children, explore their environment. And I know as many people, we're so scared about, there's real dangers out there, and there's even perceived dangers, but we're so scared that we hover over our children, and they never really get to grow and develop in the way that they should, and, the love that we feel for our children kind of, puts us there, but also fear puts us in a state of that too. And that can hamper, their overall, development. And so for me, the message for me with that is love equals empowerment, not helplessness. All her children knew how to swim, every single last one of them, and they swam like little dolphins. They were all underneath the river water and everything, algae, all that kind of stuff. And they were not afraid of it. They were unafraid. And mom was unafraid. She didn't have a stressful bone in her body. Just watching, this whole divine message unfold, in front of me. And I knew that I was like, yeah, this is Yemaya here and her little fishes, but it was a message that I received, and it was timely, because it's vital to our development and well-being to give ourselves permission to experience pure freedom. We must instill it in our children as they grow. You can't live from a place of fear, and you must live from a place of freedom. I mean, you have to give the children a little leeway, not hover over them so much, and I know some of y'all will be like, well, what about this in the world? And what about that in the world? And, that's fear. Everything in this world is an illusion, and they put this fear in you so you can't live and truly live. And so you won't even elevate your children to be free and truly live. There's always some type of doubt. What if somebody takes my child? What if somebody does this to my child? But again, you have to give them that, that freedom to grow. So today, I took my little ones to the water park. And the first time I had taken them to a water park in Belton, Texas, it was me and another girlfriend of mine, and we took them, and we were all hovering around them, making sure that they were in eye shot, and they did, But this time it was just me. And when I first brought them there, I made sure that, I got them in safely and all that kind of stuff. And once they started getting in the water and everything like that, I kind of stayed around a little bit, and then I didn't. Kind of fell back, and I enjoyed the water myself. I was doing my thing, and the boys played, and they were fine. Every now and again, I'd go and do a little search because, I don't see them. Let me see. Oh, there they go. And they were fine. They were playing in the water, unafraid. They had their life vests on, so I was good. Nobody was going to drown. So I let them be free to play by themselves without me hovering over it. And that allowed me to be stress-free. Stress-free, so I can enjoy the day. And it was, a beautiful thing, to allow them to do that. And they just had a good time, a good time. And I had a good time. And I would, try to not have as, much stress as I usually have when I have the little ones with me, So it was, that lesson that I learned at the river that Oshun and, Yemaya taught me was vital. Another interesting thing at the river, though, there's a bridge that goes, over the waterway where I was sitting, and there's kind of like a little waterfall there. And so there's the waterway, and there's a bridge that comes over. So I was looking at that, and I was like, interesting. This is an unlikely crossroads. And as I figured that out, in my head, here comes a guy with a dog, walking a dog that has on a red and black harness. And I was just like, okay, now I got Papa Legba energy up in here. So it's interesting how when you are in touch with spirit and you're in tune with the universe, how, these lessons and, the Orisha and the Loa and all the other spirit gods and goddesses will actually show up in physical form, or their energy will be around, and you'll see signs of them, around you. So, I mean, it was, I was just like, that was a magical day. Friday was a absolutely magical day. It was a beautiful day. I got a chance to sit out in the sun and talk with, Oshun and Yemaya, and, Papa Legba is always around. And some people are like, what about a Legwa Eshu? Well, a Legwa Eshu that wasn't there, but Papa Legba was there. I just have a cornucopia of spirits that, I deal with that are in my court and stuff. So there's all kind of stuff going on with me with that. But that day, it was, interesting. I kind of added up the numbers of the day, and it came out to the number 9. And that, I looked that up, and that was to cultivate your inner strength. And that gets back into the powering the hero within, to cultivate your inner strength, to not operate from a place of fear, but from a place of freedom and love, and 9, the ruler of that, 9 rules all the planets, but the color of number 9 is gold. And that was interesting because, again, it's Friday, it's Oshun's day. Her colors are yellow, gold, The lion represents personal power, strength, and assertiveness, and master of your own domain. And that gets into becoming the hero within, your inner strength. And the sun, of course, life, influence, strength, again, energy, will, and being clear. And it's about self, and again, it gets into, that little Lion King sticker, be the lion, and the king, of course, is a spiritual leader, male, masculine energy, but a king also can empower others so that they can overcome obstacles and deal with challenges. And one of the aspects of a king's personality is that it allows them to lead and to listen to others. So that gets into, the royalty aspect of this. We all should be developing ourselves, spiritually, so we can wear our crowns. We can become kings and queens and be the masters of our own domain, and to empower our own inner strength so that we can empower our sons, our children, our sons, our little lights, and so they can grow and develop and to, reach their highest potential and live their best life. So I thought that whole, day and time at the river was a precious and inspiring time, and I wrote it down, and I wanted to bring this message to you all, so that you at times continue to pay attention to the environment around you. Spirit is everywhere. Spirit speaks to you everywhere, at the river and at home, in your car, but you have to pay attention. And I was in a place and time where I could pay attention, and I got the message and I received the message, so I can give the message back out to you all. And maybe this would resonate with some of you all, and you will really understand and feel where I'm coming from with it. And I hope that that again, it just resonates with you, and that you can take this message and apply it into your own life and make it work for you. And so, that's all I have for today on that. I just wanted to get this message out. I want to thank you for those that subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate you, and I really am grateful for the support. I will continue to put out as many videos as I can, so be patient with me. This will be my second one that I'm doing. So I want to continue to, put out these messages and do these videos as I receive them in. And please like and subscribe my channel. Tell everybody else about my channel. I'm also on Facebook under Elemental Wisdom 72, and I'm on Instagram under Elemental Wisdom 72. And with that, y'all, I want you to know and understand that you have to live from a place of freedom and not from fear, and empower the hero within, and let your light shine. Infinite blessings. This is Aries Queen, aka Sister Kimberly, signing out, and I'll talk back with you at another time. Peace.